Our violent, aka Super Typhoon Usagi, now with sustained winds according to the Japan Meteorological Agency, rate around 110, gusting up to 150 knots. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center even has it at a stronger intensity than that, with winds rate around 140 knots sustained. Well, right now we are seeing the peak of this massive storm system continue to bear down on the Luzon Strait. Batanes Islands, the first time that signal force 4 has been raised by Bagases since 2012. We're going to continue to see that storm push off there towards the west, so southern Taiwan continuing to gear up for it. Also reports as far south as Baguio City of people being knocked off their feet as those winds continue to stream in from the west with that enhancement of the monsoon. We've been talking about that all week, and we were really specifically gearing in on the rain, but not to mention, along with that enhancement, it means stronger winds flowing in around that storm system. So even around Manila, going through the overnight hours, our typhoon way off here towards the north, near Batanes Islands, but you're still going to be seeing tropical storm strength winds, possibly, especially right near the coastline. So yeah, we're going to watch this storm system as it does push through the Luzon Strait and off there towards the north, but the worst of the conditions obviously are going to be closer right near that center of circulation, that well-defined eye wall, and especially here in the southern Taiwan. I do think winds off here are going to be sustained over 100 kilometers per hour, likely sustained up to about 130 kilometers per hour. James Reynolds actually out there at this time gearing up to get in front of the storm system. The worst conditions for him likely Saturday around noontime here via that model from the GFS run, but this is actually an image he took on Highway 1 there along the eastern seaboard of Taiwan heading south. You can see very little cars heading south, everybody heading towards the north. Most of these people are actually tourists. It's a holiday weekend out there in Taiwan, so a lot of people headed south over the 4-day holiday. Well, now with the storm system pending overhead as that continues to gear up, people are heading north back to Taipei. Not everybody. This image also taken by him, Jim Ed's Typhoon Chaser as well, shown there in the picture, but everybody out there at the night market, the locals, in fact, it's typhoon country there. Nothing unusual to see a storm, but I'm sure going into Saturday, everybody, it really is going to be hunkering down and waiting for the storm system to pass. Same thing goes for the 15,000 residents on the Batanes Islands, where they look like they're just going to get the brunt of this storm. Many of the homes out there are made of concrete or just straight up stone. They're used to typhoons in this area as well. Now, later on down the road, this looks like it's going to have a big impact on the Hong Kong area, Guangzhou, also the Macau area, but the good news, the track has slightly shifted farther north of Hong Kong, given the last several runs from the Japan Meteorological Agency. The Hong Kong Observatory still takes it directly over Hong Kong Island, and same thing with the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. So if it does track north of the island, given the track from JMA that would happen, that would actually be much, much better. If it stays towards the south and puts the island and much of those metropolitan areas on the right front quadrant, in that scenario, we could have a very serious situation on our hand. As the storm tracks off there towards the west, I don't think we're going to have this violent typhoon monster on our hands. Actually, the Japan Meteorological Agency expects it to slowly decrease in intensity as it pushes south of Taiwan. Main reason, the mountains out there in Taiwan are going to tear this apart. It's going to see a heavy amount of precipitation. A whole meter of rainfall, I think, very well could be possible in some localized areas along the eastern periphery of the island. And we're already seeing these rain bands come ashore right around about 10 p.m. Taiwan Standard Time, and already those mountains having an orographic effect on this. You can see the showers stopping dead in their tracks there along the southeastern coast. The western coast looks like it actually might remain rather dry out there. You might think you're going to be seeing the gusty winds, but you might think, where is all this rain? It's going to stay on the eastern seaboard, and that's one of the main reasons why we see the higher population in Taiwan along the western coast, vice the eastern seaboard, because, well, you see so much rain there, especially when we have these tropical systems come ashore. But as we take a look ahead into the next several days, right now we do know that Taiwan is going to be battered, especially along the southern periphery. Heavy rainfall along the eastern coast, those tropical storm strength winds across much of the Philippines. I mean, we've been mentioning that, but I don't think I stressed it enough. And then going ahead into, well, Friday. Actually, Friday, it does look like some decent weather out there towards Hong Kong, or excuse me, Saturday, Hong Kong, Macau, Guangzhou. You're actually going to have some pretty good weather here on Saturday. Some heat advisories are going to be in place. But by Saturday night, going into Sunday morning, conditions will start to go downhill. Right here, clear skies actually around midnight on Saturday, but let's look ahead into Sunday. That storm system starts to push off in your direction, and this is by Sunday night. Usagi will likely be directly overhead. Now, the GFS model run takes it still directly over the island, but I do want to compare it up, and just for comparison, because you never want to use one particular model, this is the ECMWF, and what it does show here is Usagi making landfall a little bit farther towards the east of Hong Kong, and then it goes actually towards the north. And that's what I was trying to stress earlier, is that if it takes this northerly route, it's going to be weakening a lot, and you're not going to have that catastrophic winds on hand. So where exactly this makes landfall is going to have a big impact on the metropolitan area. I would still gear up for a possibly destructive storm, but if it comes off here, that would be a much better situation here for the Hong Kong area. If it goes down towards the south, right front quadrant, then you're going to be having that storm surge risk, the gusty winds over 100 kilometers per hour, very well possible. So let's continue to stay tuned on this. We're going to have video updates all weekend here at westernpacificweather.com, plus updates on our Facebook and Twitter. James Reynolds continues to feed us information. Please follow him on Twitter at Typhoon Fury. And of course, if you have any input, we love feedback here at westernpacificweather.com. That is one of our key sources of information of what's going on the ground. If people just post down in the comment section down below, what is your weather doing right now? But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and please stay safe out there.